Hello again, folks. It's Mr. Pete, your YouTube shop teacher, and in this short video I'm just going to show, this is show and tell, these little electric engines, are actually motors, but I'm going to call them engines because they kind of look like engines. These are the last of a group of electric engines that I made about 15 or 20 years ago. I went through different phases in my model making. One was steam engines, one was Stirling engines, and I did a bunch of these electric engines. But since I'm selling these in the very near future here, and this is February 2022, I thought I would show them to you and make a video with them running for my own purposes, my own family and all of that. You may get a kick out of this, or you may not. So let's look at them individually and operate them. All four of these little engines are using solenoids. Some of them are homemade solenoids. Matter of fact, they're all homemade solenoids except for this one. I do not remember where I got the solenoid, but the whole idea here is that there's a little micro switch being actuated by a cam that turns the current on and off to the solenoid, and this particular one is 110 volt. It's the only one that's 110 volt. '09 is when I built that with my lead flywheel aluminum base, and it really runs great. These were very popular back in the 30s and 40s for people to build in their basements. And I think you know the solenoid is nothing more than a magnet. Now here's number 2, and I've got that marked 12 volt because I believe I used to run it off a Makita battery or something of that nature years ago. When I built it, I no longer have that battery, so I'm going to use this 20 volt DeWalt battery in just a second here, and that's a hand wound solenoid that I made. Lead flywheel, and again a little micro switch with a cam. Let's run it. And the 20 volts may be a little bit too much. I hope it doesn't overheat, so I'm going to run it just for a short period of time. And here we go. Here's another one, and these may have appeared in other videos of mine. I do not even really remember that. 2009. Again, lead flywheel, hand wound solenoid. Again with a little micro switch. Let's run this little beauty. And of course they all require a little spinning to get them started. They are not self-starting. Whew. You know what, I think 20 volts is a little bit too much for this. It's not hot or even warm, but probably could not be run for extended periods of time with that battery. And they will not run off of a little 9-volt transistor radio battery. I did try that. Probably a big lantern battery might do it, or two of them, I'm not sure. But everybody has batteries from power tools now, so probably your best bet to run something like this. There are no plans for this. It's all stuff that I just came up with, I guess, a long time ago. One more. Okay, here's the final one. And that's got a double solenoid. I don't remember why I made a double barrel, but I did. Funny what you forget in 12 or 13 years, isn't it? Now this one it might have been the first one I built because I didn't use a micro switch. I made my own switch, which can be adjusted. All right, let's go. Since it's a double solenoid, it's not running quite as fast. I suppose it takes more current. I forgot all about this. It's been so long. Now you notice a lot of sparking on the switch. Someone did tell me, I believe, to put a capacitor in there, and I think I played around with that way back then, but that's a thing of the past. I was still in my prime. Okay, that completes my little show and tell here. Hope perhaps you enjoyed it, or this may have sparked, no pun intended, a little interest in you to build something like this. And most of this could be built out of wood. A lot of the ones in Popular Mechanics years ago were wood, because during the Depression people just had to use whatever they could come up with. Money was scarce. Okay, it's Mr. Pete saying so long for now, and I'll see you next time.